I'm also going to put in the hours. So I'm going to total the hours. You're probably familiar with the sum function, so the auto sum button. It's on the home ribbon tab. Alternatively, you'll find it on the formulas ribbon. Now, auto sum, do like a shortcut. And this is Alt equals is the shortcut you can see on the little tooltip there. Okay, so I'm just going to press or click on the auto sum button. It suggests this is the cells that I want to total. That just uses the sum function and a simple range and just enter that one in. Do the same for rate through to net. Of course, I could auto fill that across. I'm just going to select these and do the auto sum once again, because this will do for several columns at a time. One other thing to note is also that the hours, of course, don't need the currency, and doing it in the way that I did, it does utilize the formatting from the cells above. Speaking of formatting, put in a simple formula you're probably familiar with putting in. We can use control semicolon to put in today's date, of course. That is a static date and it won't change. All right, it's as though you typed it in. If I just tab across, I'm going to put that in again. In fact, I'll put it in underneath here. I'm going to put it in this time using a formula, or a function rather. And that would be equals today. I start to see my function coming up at the bottom here. I'm going to double click on it to use it from that little list. And this one doesn't need anything else. I'm just going to enter that in, and hey presto, I've got the same date. Now the difference with this one, because it's a function, it will automatically update. So if I look at this spreadsheet tomorrow, the date in A14 will say the 28th of the 5th, and if I do it on Christmas Day, the 25th of the 12th. So that one does update. Okay, let's move on then and start having a look at perhaps a few other functions. This sheet is going to take us through 5 basic statistical functions, and it will include the sum, the count functions, and so on. Now, most of these are listed on the auto sum drop down. So alongside or underneath the auto sum button, you've got a drop down that lists some of these functions that we're going to be using. Before I do that, just noting that we've got a little bit of a formatting issue here, because I've got these hashes in the cells. Of course, it just means that those cells aren't quite wide enough to display, in this case, the dates or the number. So I'm going to select the 3 columns here, C, D, and E together, and then I can use my double click between the column letters to auto fit each of those columns to the longest entry in each column.